Making a Fursona. Are you tired of making boring and possibly even lame designs that you never even feel right with and you end up remaking them about a week later? I am here to save you from those troubles and help you make a design that you'll probably actually like, I hope. As a quick example, when I made my Fursona, I designed him off of one of my favorite albums, Hawaii Part 2 by Miracle Musical. I'm sure many of you already know this album, and that's why you clicked the thumbnail. You fucking Tally Hall enjoyers. Taking inspiration from other sources like media or cartoons or anything really can be a great way for you to create your Fursona. Lots of people create Fursonas off of their, favorite cartoon characters or their favorite aesthetics or anything really. In some cases, you can take inspiration off of other people's characters or personas, but just please be respectful and don't try to steal or straight up copy their design in a certain way. We want to be original, and we get the most creativity when we're mixing and meshing different ideas together. In this video, I'll actually be showing you my process of a different character that I've designed straight from Moodboard and using just straight custom colors from a color palette that I get off Pinterest. And I'll be going into my process on how I get those colors, how I get these design ideas, and how I put them all together. First things first is I always use Pinterest whenever I'm making characters or making artwork. It is honestly my favorite website to use before drawing, and it is the best place to find good aesthetics and inspiration. For me personally, I get all of my mood boards or all of my aesthetics off of Pinterest. This character does not actually belong to me, and I am entering them into a contest, so this mood board was pulled straight from the Discord where this contest was occurring, and I'll be using this mood board, which I didn't pick myself, to design this character, and it'll be a more fun and original way to design a character. The color palette that you see was pulled straight off of Pinterest, and I'll be using that as a guide for the colors that I want to use for this character. Everything else I'll either pull from the mood board or just from the color wheel. Having mood boards can be a really good way to kind of simmer down the core details and aesthetics that you want for a character, especially the core colors, because in my personal opinion, I think the colors are the most important part of the character. Now with everything at your disposal, you can start the creative process. Now, this is where a lot of people get stumped because they don't know what colors exactly to use or to pick from or what to do. In my humble opinion, I think that you should start off more simply. So, if you are not an artist, don't go straight into drawing. Get a free to use base, which is what I'm actually using right now. Bases are very common in the art community and the furry community and can help you narrow down exactly what you want your character to look like. So for example, this is a free to use, or actually, no, sorry. This is actually a pay to use base by Foxy on Ko-Fi. But there's plenty of free to use bases on Toy House or on places like, bro, my ass forgot the name. Bases are a great way to get a character design without actually fully committing to drawing, so you can honestly go on the chopping block here, and if you make a design that you don't really like, you can restart and not have to stress about, drawing a whole art piece and then not really messing with the character at the end of it. So pick a species that you like. That's a whole nother thing that you'll have to figure out on your own, but pick a species that you like and find a base for them, and then come back to the art program with your mood board and your color palette. Now we get to the coloring process. So this is actually where things get a little bit tricky, and you can find some iffiness on your design or a odd sense of like, I don't really know if I like this, and it's often, more than often not, because we as artists, at least usually in my case, are so used to doing the same things over and over and over again. And sometimes the best way to make a character that you really enjoy is to do something that you've never done with art or characters before. So for example, trying new ways of coloring or new patterns. I like to look at other artists that I really like and how they color and how they make their OCs, how they make their characters, and apply that to my own characters. So when I made Colada, I did a whole bunch of gradients and a whole bunch of continuously moving colors, because I never really made characters or personas that had a lot of colors. I always had it be a very limited color palette, and this is the first time that I actually branched out of my comfort zone and said, you know what, I'm gonna have many, many, many colors. And I actually found that I enjoyed the character a lot more when I had more colors to work with. In your case, you might be someone who uses a lot of colors all the time, but when you finally simmer down and maybe limit your color palette to 3 or 5 colors, you'll realize that you like your character or connect with them more. And that's honestly just part of the process when it comes to character creation, is trying new things. In your case, I would say just look at artists that you like and imitate the patterns or the style that they use, and apply that to your own character. But anyways, back to the art. Trying new things is really beneficial, and the more that you experiment with certain designs, I think the more that you'll begin to appreciate the, fun of the drawing process and also how the character is coming along. So as you can see with this design, I put so many rainbows everywhere. I did worm on a string tails even with this character, which is something that I've never made before or even thought about, and it was actually something I pulled straight from the mood board that I wouldn't have even considered if it wasn't for it being included in the mood board. For example, with this character again, I stuck with just a gradient of colors for the body, like in the same kind of area, general range of blues, but then branched out with more bright colors like rainbows and neon colors, and this helps embody the effect of the sparkle dog aesthetic or the scene core aesthetic. Anyways, that's all for the video. If you have any questions, just link them down below, and if you want me to talk about any other artistic or creative topics, please let me know. Bye bye.